Chuck works at FedEx. He takes his job very seriously. For him, every package and every second matters. He believes that time is the most important thing.
87 hours is a shameful outrage. 87 hours is an eternity. The cosmos was created in less time. Wars have been fought, and nations toppled in 87 hours. Fortunes made and squandered.
Because of this, he often travels to different countries to visit FedEx offices. He teaches workers why deliveries must always be on time. Chuck is in a long relationship with a woman named Kelly. They love each other and want to get married, but Chuck is always traveling for work, so they never get the chance. His job keeps pulling him away again and again. As Christmas comes closer, Chuck gets sent on a very important FedEx trip to Malaysia. Before leaving, he promises Kelly that he will return before New Year, no matter what happens. Kelly feels sad because they won't spend Christmas together, but she finally agrees. Before Chuck leaves, they exchange gifts. Chuck gives Kelly a Christmas present. Kelly gives Chuck a pocket watch with her photo inside, so he can always think of her. Soon after, Chuck boards a FedEx cargo plane flying over the Pacific Ocean. There are only 4 people on the plane, along with many delivery packages. During the flight, the plane enters a huge storm. Strong winds and massive waves shake the aircraft. The plane loses control and crashes into the ocean. Chuck is the only person who survives. He escapes the wreck and inflates a life raft. The storm throws him around all night. When morning comes, Chuck wakes up on a deserted island. He looks around but sees no people at all. There are trees, mountains, and beaches, but no signs of life. Chuck shouts for help, but no one answers.
Help!
Hoping someone might see him from the air, he writes the word "help" in big letters on the sand. But the next day, the waves wash it away. So he uses large wooden logs to remake the word "help," knowing it will last longer. Some FedEx packages also wash onto the shore. Chuck opens them, hoping to find food, but none of them contain anything useful to eat. While walking around the island, he hears loud banging sounds and becomes scared. Soon, he realizes it's just coconuts falling from the trees. Chuck is very thirsty, but he knows he can't drink seawater. He understands that coconuts are his only source of water. Opening them is extremely hard at first. After many failed tries, he finally learns how to break them and drink the water inside. After a few days, Chuck's feet are badly injured by sharp rocks and coral. To protect them, he tears his pants and wraps the cloth around his feet like shoes. He later climbs to the highest point on the island to look for help. From the top, he sees something floating in the water. When he goes closer, he finds the dead body of one of the pilots. Shocked and sad, Chuck buries him. Before doing so, he takes the pilot's shoes and a flashlight, which are the only useful items. Days pass, and Chuck slowly learns how to survive. He collects morning dew from large leaves and stores the water in coconuts. To find food, he sharpens a stick into a spear and tries to catch fish. But the fish move too fast, and he keeps failing. One night, he sees a ship far away at sea.
Hey! Ship! Hey! Hey!
Full of hope, he screams and flashes his light, but the ship doesn't notice him and sails away. The next day, Chuck tries to escape the island using his life raft, but huge waves crash into him and throw him back onto the beach. He gets badly hurt and realizes the ocean is blocking him from leaving. Later, during a heavy rain, Chuck hides inside a cave. He forgets to turn off his flashlight, and by morning, the batteries are dead. Now, he has no light and still no fire. Out of frustration, he opens more FedEx packages. Most are useless, but one contains ice skates. The sharp blades give Chuck an idea. He uses them as tools to open coconuts and sharpen wood. With a better spear, he finally catches fish. But eating raw fish and crab makes him feel sick. Still, he has no choice if he wants to stay alive. Chuck now understands that fire is the one thing he truly needs to survive. Without fire, he can't cook food or stay safe. He first tries to make fire by rubbing a stick between his hands. He keeps spinning it faster and faster, but nothing happens. His hands start to blister, then bleed. The pain becomes unbearable. Feeling completely alone and helpless, Chuck screams in anger and pain. But even then, he doesn't quit. He tries another method. This time, he pushes a stick hard against a piece of wood, scraping it again and again like a plow. He uses all his strength. After a long struggle, a tiny spark finally appears. Slowly, it turns into fire. Chuck can't believe it. This is the first real happiness he has felt since coming to the island. Among the FedEx packages, Chuck finds a volleyball with the brand name Wilson. Earlier, during one of his angry moments, he had thrown the ball with his bloody hand, leaving a red handprint on it. Using that handprint, he draws a face, eyes, a nose, and a mouth. He starts talking to it and names it Wilson. In his deep loneliness, Wilson becomes his friend. For Chuck, he is no longer just a ball. Life on the island remains cruel. One day, Chuck develops a terrible toothache. It gets worse every day. Back home, he had ignored this problem, but now there is no doctor, no dentist, and no medicine. Left with no choice, Chuck decides to remove the tooth himself. Using the sharp blade of the ice skate, he performs the painful task. The pain is so extreme that he passes out. Time moves forward. 4 years go by. He can now catch fish from far away with one clean throw of his spear. After 4 years, Chuck has fully adapted to island life. One morning, while eating, Chuck hears a strange noise coming from the beach. He rushes over and finds a large steel sheet washed ashore. It turns out to be part of a portable toilet from a ship. When Chuck sees it, an idea hits him. For 4 years, the ocean waves stopped him from escaping. Every time he tried, the waves pushed him back. Now he realizes the steel sheet can act like a sail and help him use the wind to break through those waves. Chuck immediately starts working. He cuts down large coconut trees and drags them to the shore. Slowly, he builds a strong raft. The work is exhausting and painful. He then waits patiently for the wind to change direction, knowing the timing must be perfect. One day, the wind finally shifts. Chuck places Wilson safely on the raft and pushes into the ocean. The giant waves rise again, but this time, the wind helps him.
I think we did it!
He breaks through the wall of waves and reaches open water. Chuck is filled with joy, but soon, fear replaces it. He is now alone in the middle of a massive ocean with no idea where land is. Still, he keeps going. For days, Chuck survives under the burning sun, heavy rain, and violent storms. He catches fish to eat and collects rainwater in coconut shells. But then tragedy strikes. During a strong wave, Wilson falls into the sea. At first, Chuck doesn't notice. When he turns around, Wilson is already drifting away. Chuck panics and jumps into the water, swimming desperately toward him. But the raft is moving away too fast. He realizes he can't save both. With a broken heart, Chuck chooses the raft. As Wilson drifts farther away, Chuck cries uncontrollably, screaming, "I'm sorry, Wilson!" To anyone else, it might look strange to cry over a ball, but Wilson was Chuck's only companion for 4 years. Losing him feels like losing a best friend. Days later, Chuck is completely exhausted, both physically and mentally. He drifts without direction, ready to give up. Then, suddenly, a large cargo ship appears. The crew spots him and rescues him.
Hello?
Chuck finally returns home, but the world he returns to is not the same. Everyone believed he died. A funeral was even held for him. The hardest truth is that Kelly has moved on. She is now married and has a daughter. Chuck goes to see Kelly. When she sees him, she breaks down and runs into his arms. But reality quickly hits them. Kelly now has a family. She cannot leave them. They both understand that their lives can no longer be together. Chuck gives Kelly back the pocket watch she once gave him, saying it belongs with her family, but he keeps her photo. Before leaving, Kelly reminds him that he promised to return. Chuck apologizes with tears in his eyes. They share one last kiss, showing that their love never died. Only the timing did. Kelly gives Chuck his old car. As he drives away, she stands in the rain, watching him leave. Suddenly, she can't take it anymore. She runs after the car.
Always knew you were alive, I knew it. love you.
I love you too, Kelly.
Chuck?
You have to go home.
He drives her to her house and says goodbye. Later, Chuck sits with one of his close friends, completely broken inside. He opens up about something he has never told anyone before. He admits that on the island, he once planned to end his life. He had even made a rope and thought about hanging himself. But when the moment came, he couldn't do it. The reason was Kelly. The thought of seeing her again was the only thing that kept him alive, the only reason he kept breathing. That is the cruel twist of fate. During his 4 years on the island, Chuck had kept one FedEx package unopened. It had angel wings printed on it. He treated it as a symbol of his job and his old life. Delivering that package became his reason to stay alive, something to hold on to. After returning, Chuck finally tracks down the address on the box. When he arrives, no one is home. He leaves the package at the doorstep with a handwritten note that says the package saved his life and thanks the owner for it. As Chuck drives away, he soon reaches a quiet crossroads in the middle of nowhere. He stops the car and looks at a map, unsure which direction to go. For the first time since coming back, he has no plan. Suddenly, a woman in a pickup truck pulls up and asks if he's lost. Chuck smiles softly and says he's still trying to figure that out. She kindly explains where each of the 4 roads leads, then drives away. As her truck disappears, Chuck notices something on the back of it, the same Angel Wings logo. This is the woman he just delivered the package to. Chuck stands there, looking down each road one last time. Then his eyes follow the path the woman took. A small, hopeful smile appears on his face. The crossroads are no longer confusing. They are a symbol of a new beginning. For the first time in a long while, Chuck is ready to move forward toward an unknown but hopeful future.